Why does one person need more than another person to live the same life? Do they want to walk around with all these fancy cars, fancy coats, this, that, and that? No, I myself there, I can live, say, on £2 a week.
Why am I protesting? I'm protesting because we've got a government in this country at the moment that thinks ordinary people should pay for a crisis that's been caused by the bankers and the bosses. Like the workers that go to work every day and make society function didn't cause this crisis. This was caused by the system we live under. It's caused by capitalism and the insatiable need of those bosses to extract profit from workers. And the reality is that they've blown this whole thing up with a bunch of speculative nonsense in the banks, pretended there's a load of capital that doesn't even exist, and now they're saying, like, we've actually racked up 33 trillion of fictional debt and we want to take it out of the wealth that is created every day by workers. And that's just, I think that's an absolute disgrace. Like, if a banker doesn't go to work tomorrow, I'm not going to notice. But if they shut my hospital to pay debts to a banker who's already got a billion bonus, like, I'm going to notice. And I think that's a disgrace. I don't think it should just be a tiny amount of people coming out and protesting.
Which issues concern you most?
The whole ethos, the way that money is more powerful than people, the way that lobbyists can control the government, just the whole the cuts, the way that they're socialising the debt, and so they're taking away people's services, taking away people's welfare, cutting back on schools, hospitals, whereas the corporations are still making loads of money with all the bonuses and all that.
Which issues concern me the most? I think it's all about the cuts. I mean, there's only one issue in this country at the moment, I think, and that's who's going to pay. The government we've got wants ordinary workers to pay for the crisis, and that's something that I don't think should go ahead. I mean, that's the thing that runs through it all. It runs through the privatisation of the NHS, it runs through the pension struggle, it runs through the attack on services in local councils because it's being pushed out to them to try and make them make the cuts, to steer our eyes away from central government, which is responsible for this. And those people are millionaires and billionaires that are sat on the front benches for the Tories. They're people with shares and board positions in the big companies and the big banks that have caused this crisis, and I just don't think they should be in charge.
Money within itself is the root to all evil. So many persons within themselves, even the bankers within themselves, they will invite you into their banks to maybe accept a loan or accept a credit card, and in so many ways then they will give you the highest standard of payments to pay back. But then all of a sudden they'll put you in a position which then all of a sudden so many people there, they actually mortgage their houses for a huge sum of money, but then the banks put them in a position there where then it becomes there to repossess the house of them. And I cannot understand, but then if that's the case and that's the scenario, why don't they give more time and a lower way of paying it?
How would you regulate the financial sector?
Heavily. Very, very heavily. It's far too much neoliberalism and free market thinking. It needs to be tightly regulated by bodies that have got teeth, and there needs to be transparency and accountability, and with that then we'll get a lot fairer system. You as a person, as an individual, subject to give a lot of information over. If you're a big corporation, you've got lawyers that can help you jump through hoops and round corners to bend and break laws. There is not a great deal of accountability, and when they do, and when as an individual, if you make a mistake, you're held liable through the court system. Whereas corporations, again, have got a great deal of power, and then they can bypass that system.
I mean, I don't think it's about regulating financial services. I think finance capital is the problem. Like, I think we should get rid of finance capital. Like, the thing that makes society run is labour. It's the products that people make every day. It's the services that people give of their labour time. And I think what we've got to do is much more radical than regulating the financial services. I think we've got to recreate society from the bottom up. Because
I think they abolish all money. Take the notes out of the system. Take the notes out of the system. Use a piece of plastic, but then you are only entitled in there to for whatever you put into the system, you can take out through credits of your work.
How should we change? I think we should get rid of the bosses. We should kick them out. We should say we don't need you. The world we want to live in is one where people actually have got a right to a decent job, have got a right to a decent home. And we're not going to get that as long as you're here being parasites on the system, being parasites on our labour, and you've got no right to do that to us. And I think we should throw them out. We should cast out their nasty system of exploitation and replace it with a society where workers every day decide the society we're going to live in, where there's democracy in the workplace, and where everyone's got the right to a decent living.
We need to have more dialogue within society, which is what's happening here and what's happening beyond here as well. That needs to connect so people can feel that they can participate within the democracy.
God, all live together, all respect each other. No, we're all human beings. It doesn't matter what colour we are. We're not here to anger. We're not here to frustrate. This is a peaceful protest. In all there is, there's love, compassion through all the persons on here. I would love you to come along on this camp to test the harmony and the love and the peace in every beautiful way.
By you, in negotiation with others, deciding when the moment is to take that movement further into our society and across our world, and that we can see a new politics in this country that is based on respect and justice. Thank you.